Hey guys, this is Lion and Judah here from the Guild 7 from Thunderhorn server, and here to give me this awesome Warcraft review is my best friend, Bobic Alva. Say hi, Bobic.
Hi, Bobic.
Okay, great. So, we're going to be doing the review, and the reason why I wanted to wait till Monday, and it's actually Tuesday, I know, but Monday I was at work, and he was at work pretty much until 10 o'clock at night. So, I wanted to see what the box office was going to be like for Warcraft domestically, and it was 24.1 million domestic box office, while China did $156 million. That is just nuts. To put it into perspective, just so you can see like the kind of differentiation thing for China to the Americas or whatever. So when The Force Awakens came out, in its whole run in China, made 121 million. In its whole run of The Force Awakens, Warcraft did that in just a weekend. That's just, it's nuts. I mean, hell, like, so, okay, let's just go ahead and dive right into the movie. Did we like it? I liked it a lot, actually.
I did too.
I liked it a lot, actually. It was one of those movies that I've been anticipating so hyped for because, you know, as a Warcraft player myself for almost 10 years, you know, to any Warcraft player, this movie was basically kind of very nerve-wracking because we wanted this to be the first video game movie that was going to set the standard for video game adapted movies. And to someone like Bobic, who has never even been introduced to Warcraft or even World of Warcraft, why did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so I'm a dirty casual. I really like fantasy films, so it had that definitely going for it. But beyond that, okay, number one, the visuals are... I believe that special effects movies need to be their own genre. Okay. Because it really plays to, once again, expectations. What do you expect when you go and see a movie like World of Warcraft? Or, I'm sorry, a movie like Warcraft. I'm expecting really, 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 really good special effects, really good 3D animation, really good computer generation. And did I get that? Yeah, I really did. The movie was not what most people expected. Number one, they really got angry that, it plays more towards, if you played the game, you can fill in some of that backstory yourself, yes. Okay. Or a lot of the backstory. It really did play it really close to home. Kind of like Advent Children. If you guys are watching this, you guys have probably seen Advent Children, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Would Advent Children have been a great film? It had a wide release in movie theaters? No. It relied so much on previous knowledge. I feel that the Warcraft kind of did the same thing. Now, that being said, why did I still like it? It's expectations. I loved it, man. It had really, really, really good visuals. God, those visuals are amazing.
Yes.
Number two, it had the... Okay, so spoilers, guys. Gonna be spoilers.
Yeah,
okay?
it's a
If you haven't seen
review.
it, I don't care. All right?
Yeah.
So, spoilers. They killed... How many other main characters?
Well, they killed two main characters in the movie. Three. I'm sorry. They killed.
Yeah.
And then it was... and killed... Draka died too. Mm-hmm. And then it was King Lane.
Yeah.
So that was just insane. The movie had the balls to kill off its main characters. Yeah. The movie did not end on a supremely happy note. The movie began what can be seen as maybe 6 or 7 or even an entire, Harry Potter-esque franchise of movies. It did a lot. So why don't people like it? Okay, I'm coming from a casual audience, and I loved it.
You're coming from the critics who hated it, but then you have an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's at a 70.
Yeah, but we also have the domestic haul from that. So we might disagree with, and I completely do disagree with a lot of the critics out there. I disagree with, practically every bad review of the movie, because it was not a bad movie. I've seen way worse movies get rated way better. The Witch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I love me some horror movies, and that was awful.
Yes.
But that's a story for another day.
Yes.
So this movie, why didn't it make the money that it needed to make? Now, what are your interpretations?
I think it didn't because everyone, especially when it comes to the fantasy genre, is always wanting to compare any fantasy movie to another fantasy movie. And you always want to compare that fantasy movie, not just to any fantasy movie, but the best fantasy movie you've ever seen. And, coming off of Lord of the Rings, which I like Lord of the Rings. I really do. But to me, I feel, I've never read the books, to be honest with you. And when I saw the first movie, I thought the first movie was actually kind of boring. To be honest with you, I've never, and they want to talk about, there were so many names. There was like, it was so lost and stuff like that. Do you realize how many characters are in Lord of the Rings? Do you honestly realize like how many? There's like over 30.
Yeah.
Main characters or people you need to know who these people are because you're going to need to know for future storylines. But to me, I just feel like people were just having their own prejudice against it because, we had this talk, Bobic, and we said, Lord of the Rings has had this following for many years. You know what I mean? And, so has Warcraft, but not as long. I mean, Warcraft has been a game for about 25 years. The original Warcraft. That's a long time. Now, Lord of the Rings has been a book since... Yeah, it's been a long, long, long time, too. But all I'm trying to say is, like, Peter Jackson gave us one of the greatest fantasy films, but to me, I just feel like it lacked magic. It had hardly any magic, and you had one of
more subtle.
Yeah, it was so super subtle, and it was like, I don't care that he's the greatest wizard, Gandalf, or the Grey, or whoever the hell he was. He didn't do hardly anything. Dumbledore and Harry Potter did more than that guy did. I'm sorry. It was...
Forgetting the Hobbit.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, the Hobbit was garbage.
Okay, so Warcraft had the main characters and take up the massive amount of the movie, be completely CGI and non-human. So the main characters were orcs. And essentially the first time we've ever been introduced that orcs aren't, sniveling monsters, stuff like that.
That's another thing too.
The movie really did have no subtlety in terms of magic, and I think as a generation raised on subtle magic, that was a bit of a turnoff, perhaps. Number 3, the movie was written for more of a general understanding of... It was written for the gamers. It really was. It was a movie that appealed more to the gamers than the casuals. In terms of not having a storyline that was... It spanned the globe so much so that it actually felt like a lot of those places were just placed there for the gamers. They were Easter eggs that took up too much time. Now, this is my opinion.
Okay.
And then, like I said, it was a movie unlike any other summer blockbuster that killed off the entire all of their main characters.
Almost.
Which, to be honest, I love. Almost all the main characters. I love that. It had some kind of cheesy things going on there too.
Yeah.
By and large, I still liked it. It was a long movie too. Fantasy's always going to be long. We, as a society, are used to a certain type of fantasy film. Okay, and right now, the best fantasy stuff in popular culture is on TV.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Exactly, and Game of Thrones does that. It kills off main characters. It focuses on people who aren't, may or may not be human.
The one thing I will say, and this is a negative connotation on the movie, was so many people that I saw that gave even bad reviews says that the one shining thing about the movie was the orcs. The orcs, they felt more of a connection towards the orcs, more towards Dorothan than King Lane, than Lothar, Khadgar. To me, I just felt
on a scale of Jesse Eisenberg to Meryl Streep. What did
I wasn't bothered by the acting as much as Bobic was, but I did see a lot of the kind of comparisons to the characters in game. Almost to kind of like an X-Men Apocalypse, how people were complaining on Mystique. I just feel like Jennifer Lawrence wasn't being a bad actress in that respect. I just think she was trying to play Mystique the way Mystique needed to feel in that whole thing. But I don't want to go into that. I'm just saying that the actors, I feel, were trying to portray a little too much from the game, especially Medivh. Ben Foster is an amazing freaking actor, and I just feel like he was a little... almost like too Medivh, because the Medivh in the game is kind of very mysterious and very cold. It just like they could have done something a little different to kind of give us more of an approachable likingness to him. But to me, even liking Medivh in the game, I could not feel a connection to him at all. Like he felt so plain and so uninteresting, and
it's like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, it's like he didn't want to be there, and it was just like. But then he was corrupted by the Fel. Which they didn't even really explain how and why. It was just sort of like, we just got to understand that he was corrupted by the Fel even before. That's how we opened the thing with Gul'dan. And it was kind of like, even as someone like Bobic, he's like, where did they even come from? And that's where I see that if you knew more of the game...
I'm glad I had Mario there, because literally everybody that we went with, we swarmed Mario. We're like, we have questions.
Yes, it was...
Okay, well, getting back to my original point, the reason why I didn't do super duper well in theaters, China excluded. But in America, is because I think it would have made a better TV series. To be perfectly honest, it's got enough content for a TV series, and it felt honestly rushed.
Yeah.
If you take Game of Thrones and cram that into a 2-hour movie, people may or may not like it because there's so much stuff that you're glossing over to try and ham-fist just a basic storyline into.
I totally agree.
And I think that now that the American general audience understands that we really want to have the fantasy stories, we want to be mentally and emotionally invested in characters like Hodor and whoever else. I felt that the deaths of those main characters in Warcraft could have been amplified had we had a TV series instead of a movie. Now, I believe that the reason why it's doing so well in China is because, Warcraft is very big in those countries.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, Warcraft is very big too, but you gotta understand, you're a huge Sentai, you're a huge Godzilla person.
Sentai, not hentai.
So basically, China does very well. And let's be honest, China really doesn't have superior acting movies anyway. But the thing they crave is very good high visuals, which Warcraft definitely had.
And special effects.
Yeah, and special effects. But the thing is that they had a video game that I thought did a very good job on the orcs and really established the humanity in the orcs and wanting to preserve, kind of like, the whole Pocahontas story, where, the Indians are there, but it's kind of like a reverse kind of psychology because the Indians basically came to a new area and tried to take over. But the humans were just so uninteresting. That's like watching Game of Thrones and be totally uninterested with any human there, but then you want to know everything about the White Walkers because they're the most interesting. It's kind of a reverse polarity there.
Well, Warcraft gave us awesome orcs. Like, The Hobbit gave us awesome dwarves, and Lord of the Rings gave us awesome elves.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones gave us awesome humans. Okay, so this movie did orcs better than I have ever seen. I really care about them.
Down.
They made sense. That I just it was awesome. It was awesome to actually see orcs not treated like second rate.
What did you think of the villain? What did you think of Gul'dan?
I really liked him too, but it was mostly I didn't like him as a character. I liked him because he shut up all the magics and special effects. Once again, I will let a movie pass if it has awesome special effects. Like Mario said, I like Godzilla because of the special effects. It's awesome. I like Sentai because of Power Rangers, sparks and flashy shit and all that other fun stuff. I love that. A lot of people do. Obviously, 24 million ticket sales for that, but that's not enough. That is not enough. So while I love the film and I will buy the crap out of it and I hope it gets bigger going forward, I understand why it wasn't the biggest one and why it got taken down by a rated R movie. It once again goes to expectations. They're expecting Lord of the Rings. They're expecting a family-friendly story that everyone's going to understand and get. Mm-hmm. And what they got was a very brutal story that mostly gamers understand. Was it a bad movie? No. And I don't like this whole thing where people are like, oh my god, video game movies still suck again, and don't go see Warcraft, it sucks. No, it really didn't. No, it really didn't.
It doesn't. And it's, to me, I just feel like my expectation was, I think, a lot higher than Bobby's expectation. I mean, because for me, being a Warcraft fan and me being invested in this game for almost 10 years, you want to see these characters be given justice. And I'm a Horde guy. I've been playing Horde for God knows how long. And I was so happy to have the Horde be Gul'dan. I thought was amazing. Duratan I thought was a badass. Draka, I was kind of disappointed because she's supposed to be one of the most fiercest females, in the freaking Frostwolf clan, and she gets taken down by just some regular freaking orc. What? That was kind of weird. I know she was doing the whole baby Jesus thrall thing, but, it was just I really was expecting her to live, but I can see why she died, because she died in the game. They just kind of wanted her to die, wanted Duratan to die. Orgrim, I thought, was amazing. The Doomhammer doing its Doomhammery thing was awesome.
That was another problem, though. Okay, a lot of the orcs, to me, they looked the same. So it was very strange when one of the orcs did something really evil, then he did something that the main guy, the main orc, wanted to save him, and then he turns evil again, and then he turns good. It had a lot of flip-flopping. It's a very difficult story to keep control of if you don't know anything about the history. But what I want to find out is, how many people are a part of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, the servers now? There's 10 million?
Oh, well,
7 million, 9 million?
I wish. Right now, but they don't even give numbers anymore, but I think the last reported number was 5.1 million subscribers.
I'm just what happened to all of the Warcraft players
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys actually go to see the movie?
There's actually a lot of people that play Warcraft that didn't even see the movie this weekend.
Yeah.
This past
See, there you go. That's an issue right there, because I know that the studio is banking on its install base.
Yeah.
So they're saying, oh, well, this movie is guaranteed to make $60 million because of the install base. You know, or this movie is guaranteed to make X amount because of the install base. But see, here's what I want to find out from you guys. How many of you didn't go to see it based on critics' reviews? Because we have already established that critics' reviews are not necessarily reviews from the critics. Critics' reviews come out because they are a source of entertainment. They could care less if they agree with you or not. They know that you read their reviews because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, is there a need for a review? No, absolutely not. A movie costs $10. You know, I don't even read reviews when I go and buy a car. I don't read reviews. Well, no, I do. But, like, a lot of people don't.
No,
you know,
they don't.
A lot of people don't read a review if they're going to buy a house. Things that are much more impactful to your life. So why the hell is everybody getting all up in arms about, you know, reading a review for a movie? Does that influence you guys one way or another? Or do you guys realize that reviews are just there for entertainment? And because they are there for entertainment, they have to echo the popular opinion. There's going to be very few reviewers out there who are saying, oh, we love this movie. Not necessarily because they loved it or hated it, but because that goes against the norm, so no clicks.
You see, the thing is that I feel like there were just some things in the movie that I felt like missed, you know, like you said, it crammed too much. They were missing some beats. They were kind of hoping that you just kind of know and just kind of be dragged along for the ride rather than just giving you a clear indication of story-wise what's going on. There was a lot of that with Medivh. There was a lot of that with Gul'dan. And I just feel like I can give it a pass because I'm a Warcraft player, but I can see why people aren't liking it, but I just feel like it's just a little too harsh. It's a little like, almost like if you're on the playground and some kid's being picked on and you're just kind of like going on with everyone. It's like, you're a stupid head or blah, 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 blah. Like, I just feel like that's what's going on. It's this kind of childish mentality of like, all you hear is negativity, so I'm going to spout negativity too. It's like, form your own opinion, man. Go see the movie.
I mean,
like,
people said that this movie was worse than Batman v Superman, and it's not.
Oh my god,
it's not.
It's like, to me, like I don't even want to compare Warcraft to Batman v Superman. I think they're both good movies, and I think they're both great to see on the big screen. But at the same time, like I said, it's just this thing of like, what's going on first? Is it positive? Is it negative? And I'll just echo that sentiment. It's a lot of drone-ish kind of behavior. And I just feel like if you're going to go and form your own opinion, watch the movie. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I didn't think it was a perfect film, to be honest, but man, it was more than what I kind of wanted a little bit, because to me, like I said, video game adapted movies, you have Resident Evil, you have, you know, Silent Hill, you have,
Advent Children.
Yeah, Adam and Children.
Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
The Resident Evil.
I mean, golly, you just have so many of those franchises that they just don't give a crap about their properties, and they're just spouting off whatever story they want. At least Warcraft did follow the mythos somewhat.
Oh, I see what you
Now,
mean.
they did take some liberties. They really did take some liberties with the characters, but they still explained, I think, the best they could possibly do in a 2-hour format. I really do. So, okay, more or less, like, what would you rate this movie? Like, on a scale from 1 to 10? Like, what would you feel? Like, as a casual movie fan.
As a casual, I liked it more than I didn't like it, and I was more entertained by it for the most part. I'd say probably a 7.5, and that is greatly massaged because it had really good special effects.
Awesome.
Like, really, really
See,
good
for me,
special effects.
I'm actually not that far from you. I give it an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10. And the reasoning why is because I think my expectations were just a little too high, because the one thing I wanted from this movie was magic. Yeah. And now, here's the thing. Warcraft and World of Warcraft, you have like 12 and 11 classes. Okay, if you just want to break down the original classes, there's paladins that are two-handed wielding, magic users. You know, they can bubble, they can use the light, and they didn't even show paladins, they didn't show hunters, they didn't show rogues, they didn't show warriors.
God, you all shut up about that.
All they showed was mages. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, why couldn't we just get a Bladestorm? Why couldn't we just get a shaman to freaking do shaman things? Now, we did get some stuff from Gul'dan, which was like, Drain Soul. We did get some warlock stuff, but it was just heavily, heavily influenced on mage. Mm-hmm. And to me, I just feel like, to a casual like yourself, you wouldn't think that there's any other form of magic users other than mages.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, Bobic, there's paladins that can wield magic. There's other classes that can wield magic other than those. Even priests. They didn't even show priests. And it would have been really cool.
Well, see, that's where you start getting a little too confusing. I think the movie, had it just been an orc's story...
Oh, it would have been amazing.
It would have
It would have been
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. I think it would have brought a different perspective to the whole thing. It would have cut down the runtime, but it would have gotten rid of a lot of the bad human acting. And save that for the part 2 or the sequel or whatever. Let's introduce the humans. Let's see what the orcs are doing in their homeworld. I mean, the CGI was just so damn good, and
it was the best CGI I've ever seen in a film.
Blizzard actually had a hand in overseeing the CGI.
Yes, it is.
So with
that,
ILM. I mean, it was magical. The CGI in that was just so damn good. But here's the other reason why I don't think that it fared so well. Fantasy always does better in the winter months. Always.
Didn't Lord of the Rings come out in November?
Yeah, all the Christmases had Lord of the Rings. All the Christmases had the Harry Potters. All the Christmases had the Narnia. Well, no, I take that back. Narnia was doing good until Walden Media forced Disney to push it to a summer release, and it didn't do well at all. Warcraft might have been that one where you can go either way because it's a little less Christmassy, but I still think that if they had released it in a November or a December or even a September, it would have, or October rather, it would have done really, really well. It probably would have doubled its numbers. So there's a lot of reasons we can speculate. I want to find out your reasons. I want to find out if critics were part of you not going to see it, or if you were just playing Warcraft and you just have no cares about watching the movie, or if you saw it and you liked it, or you saw it and you hate it, or if you think we're a bunch of blowhards and you really don't like us, well, fuck you. But everybody has their own opinion.
That's true.
Even if it's wrong.
Yeah. To me, I just feel like this movie, just like, I don't know, the critics this year are getting a little too, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just getting a little too anal with how they're giving reviews for movies. Like, if it's not stamped by Marvel, it's,
critics reviews are clickbait.
It really is. I feel like that's just what
you
it is.
You don't need them. Go to the movie and watch it yourself. It's 2 hours on a weekend. Even if it's a bad movie, you still relax and see it. Okay. Yeah. If it's something that you're just if you're just interested about, you can certainly just read a user review. Critics are vastly overrated, and it's clickbait. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, because when we read reviews to The Witch,
I will never read a critic review and take it seriously.
Oh my god, that was like the
There's a lot of movies that were great this past year and last year too that I hated. And vice versa. And I think that it's just a lot of echoing. It really is. It's just a lot of echoing one strong social justice warrior sentiment. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever. Leave a comment. Start fighting in the comments. I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see the comments from you guys. I mean, go ahead and leave me your comments. What did you rate the movie? Did you like the movie? Did you go watch the movie? I would really like to know y'all's thoughts on this. So
yeah, if you hated it, let me know why you hated it. Articulate why you hated it.
Yeah.
And if you loved it, let me know why. Articulate. Be articulate.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Don't be like those critics where they just use 50-cent words to hide behind their own lies.
The movie had too many orcs. I wasn't prepared for that.
So
we didn't like it. No, that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Be articulate. Yeah. But also, y'all can fight with each other. I want to see some fighting in the comments section.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to my review. My name's Mario, Lion of Judah. This is my good friend Bobic Alva. We'll see you guys later.
I'm wearing shorts, by the way.
Oh, okay.